Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Poppy's mental break is next follows in Luna's scary footsteps. The bold and the beautiful B&B. Spoilers reveal that Poppy Nozoa, Romy Park, hinted about not giving up on her dream of a life with Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, but he seems to have fully put her in the rearview mirror. Bill has come to realize that whatever magic he shared with Poppy was a moment in time and can't compete with his forever Katie Logan, Heather Tom, love. Although Bill wants to reunite with Katie, she's dragging her feet on getting back together. Bill told Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, that he planned to keep pursuing Katie, but he's got a backup love interest if he needs one. B&B could be gearing up for another round of Bill and Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, depending on how things play out with Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, who's already far closer to Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, than he should be. Regardless, Bill and Poppy's relationship seems to be over for good. Never say never on a Poppy and Bill reunion since this is a soap, but it's doubtful her dream will ever come true. With that in mind, we have to consider how Poppy will truly cope with losing Bill and this life she so desperately wanted with him. Of course, Poppy is also struggling over Luna Nozowa's, Lisa Yamada, outrageous behavior and all the chaos she unleashed. It's clear that Poppy blames herself on some level, so all of this could take a toll and lead to her mental break. In other words, losing Bill and watching Luna land in prison could push Poppy right over the edge. If that's the case, Poppy's reign of terror might be coming up next. Perhaps B&B could give Poppy an unsettling new arc of her own if she follows in Luna's scary footsteps. Poppy might target Katie, Brooke, or both depending on who Bill ends up moving on with. There could be other ways for Poppy to go off the rails as well, so it'd be interesting to see her lose control and do some twisted things. The show could use a little more excitement these days, so having Poppy spiral out of control would certainly help. Our predictions hint that Bill's love life is always going to be complicated, so stick with us for updates on any messy news ahead. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Bill will have to brace for whatever drama is next on the CBS soap. Los Angeles may glisten under the California sun, but darkness has a way of creeping into the corners of even the brightest lives. For the Forresters, Logans, and Spencers, drama and scandal come as no surprise. Yet, when it comes to Poppy, a rising star at Forrester Creations, the whispers in the corridors have shifted from admiration to concern. Her mental state seems to be unraveling, and it's eerily similar to the path Luna once walked. As Poppy finds herself spiraling deeper into the chaos of her own mind, many are left wondering, will she follow in Luna's dangerous footsteps, or will someone step in before it's too late? Poppy's arrival, a shining star. When Poppy first arrived at Forrester Creations, she was a breath of fresh air. A young, ambitious designer with an eye for innovation, she quickly earned her place among the fashion elite. Her designs were bold, cutting-edge, and she had an instinctive sense of what the next big trend would be. It wasn't long before she was working side by side with some of the industry's finest, including the formidable Steffi Forrester and Hope Logan. But as Poppy's star rose, the pressure mounted. Success came with a price, and for someone as perfectionistic as Poppy, the constant demand for brilliance began to take its toll. She started working longer hours, skipping meals, and isolating herself from the team. The once vibrant, energetic designer became more withdrawn, often muttering to herself as if caught in an internal dialogue. Her colleagues noticed the change, but chalked it up to stress. After all, the fashion world is notoriously brutal, and Forrester Creations is no exception. Yet it wasn't until Poppy's erratic behavior began to mirror that of Luna, another tragic figure from the past, that alarms were truly raised. Luna's scary footsteps. Luna, a designer with a similarly meteoric rise at Forrester, had once walked this same terrifying path. She had been brilliant but deeply troubled, hiding her inner demons behind a facade of creativity and innovation. Like Poppy, Luna had a hunger for success, but it eventually consumed her. Luna's downfall had been swift and shocking. As the pressure mounted, she began to lose her grip on reality. Her paranoia deepened, and she started accusing her colleagues of sabotaging her work. At one point, she even lashed out physically, convinced that someone had stolen her latest designs. Her tragic mental breakdown had left a permanent scar on Forrester Creations, serving as a haunting reminder of how easily brilliance can tip into madness. Luna was eventually sent to a psychiatric facility where she received treatment for her mental health issues. However, her career at Forrester was over, and the fashion world quietly moved on. Yet her story remained in the shadows, a cautionary tale whispered among the staff. Now, with Poppy showing signs of following in Luna's footsteps, there is a palpable sense of dread hanging over the company. No one wants to see history repeat itself, but with each passing day, Poppy seems to be slipping further away. The cracks begin to show. It started small, a missed deadline here, an incomplete sketch there. At first, no one thought much of it. Poppy was always meticulous, and it was easy to believe she was simply taking extra time to perfect her designs. But then came the outbursts. Poppy, normally composed and professional, began snapping at her colleagues, accusing them of interfering with her work. She became obsessed with the idea that someone was out to sabotage her success. She claimed that her designs had been tampered with, even going so far as to accuse Steffi of stealing her ideas. The accusations were wild and unfounded, but the intensity with which Poppy made them left everyone unnerved. Hope, who had once been close to Poppy, tried to intervene, suggesting she take some time off to recharge. But Poppy refused, insisting that she was fine and that everyone was just trying to undermine her. The paranoia that had gripped Luna now seemed to have Poppy in its clutches, and there was little anyone could do to convince her otherwise. A descent into darkness. As Poppy's paranoia deepened, her behavior became more erratic. She started showing up to work at odd hours, sometimes staying overnight in the design studio. Her appearance became increasingly disheveled, and she seemed to be living off coffee and adrenaline. The once vibrant designer now had dark circles under her eyes, her hands shaking as she worked. But the most disturbing development came when Poppy began talking to herself, often in hushed, frantic whispers. Some overheard her having conversations with people who weren't there, as if she were caught in an alternate reality. It was clear that Poppy was no longer in control of her mind, and her colleagues began to fear for her well-being. Steffi, ever the pragmatist, suggested that Poppy take a leave of absence, but Poppy's response was nothing short of explosive. She accused Steffi of trying to push her out, of wanting to see her fail. The confrontation ended with Poppy storming out of the office, leaving everyone stunned. A dangerous crossroad. Now, Poppy stands at a dangerous crossroad. The signs of her mental break are all too clear, and the parallels to Luna's tragic story are undeniable. But the question remains, will anyone be able to reach her before she descends too far into madness? Hope, who feels a sense of responsibility for Poppy, is determined to help her friend. She's been quietly researching mental health professionals and is considering staging an intervention. But she knows that time is running out. Poppy's grip on reality is slipping faster than anyone anticipated, and there's a very real fear that if she isn't helped soon, she could meet the same fate as Luna. As Poppy's mental state continues to deteriorate, the future of her career and her sanity hangs in the balance. Will she find her way back to the light, or will the pressures of success drive her into the same dark abyss that consumed Luna? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, the fashion world of Forrester Creations is about to witness another tragic tale unfold, and this time, the stakes are higher than ever.